So like I said on Tuesday, I'm actually going to be making a video today about the Traveller because I have got some burning kind of ideas in my head that I've been thinking about pretty much since the Lightfall trailers dropped, because there was a lot of questions I had and the campaign didn't really answer them. But as you can probably tell from the video, is the Traveller actually a rogue Vex? Because this is something I'm like entertaining the idea of. It's obviously not like confirmed or anything like that, it's just an idea I have, because there seems to be quite a few things that we can pull as similarities when it comes to this. Because what we did see in the cutscenes for Lightfall when we started the campaign, the Traveller shoots like this light beam thing that goes through a pyramid. We obviously know this ends up being the Root of Nightmares raid eventually, but what actually happens on the outside of it is what's making me a bit more curious. Because on the initial impact, it appears like there's red trees growing out of it, which I immediately recognise as seeing it as somewhere else before. And of course, if you've done Rage, you probably recognise where this came from as well, because it's the exact kind of plantation that we've seen in the Garden of Salvation raid. And yes, also there is a mission on Neomuna which lets you go through the Garden of Salvation raid as well, so you probably spotted this through that as well. Which makes me wonder straight away, was the Traveller the reason that the Garden of Salvation actually exists? Like, was the Traveller the reason why all that terraforming was randomly there on the moon? Because from my understanding, the Garden of Salvation was just a location that was hidden for a while, and then actually got found out when the Vex started to take it over. And if there's one thing that we definitely do know about the Traveller, is that it is a terraformer, so it does seem to be a similarity in that case. The other similarity that I'm actually bringing apart is the inner structure of the Traveller, because again, when it's firing its beam of light into the pyramid, you can actually kind of see inside of it. It seems like the surface of the Traveller strips back for it to shoot this beam. And if you're looking very closely, it seems like a lot of the machinery inside the Traveller, when like the base of it is gone, it seems very familiar to some of the Vex constructions that I've seen in the game. Whether this is just a coincidence because Bungie seems to like making things like this, or if there's a deeper meaning behind it and the Traveller is actually a Vex, I'm not entirely sure. But it's definitely food for thought when you can consider the implications of this as well, because something I entertained the idea of with a friend of mine is, we discussed this as an idea, like the Traveller being a Vex, but the weird theory we kind of arrived at was, what if the ghosts weren't actually reviving you at all, like with the power of the light? Because if the Traveller was a Vex, then the Vex obviously know a lot about time travel. That is basically their thing. And being as the ghosts are creations of the Traveller, it would make sense for them to also be Vex in this situation as well. And then it brings forth a really weird idea, which also makes sense, of the ghosts actually rewinding your time to a state before you died. So they don't actually revive you, they just rewind your time. And what makes it even weirder with this kind of conspiracy is that as soon as the Traveller showed up for humanity, the Traveller actually ended up expanding humanity's lifespan by quite a bit. I think it was like 3 times as much. But the thing about that as well is, when you seem to be able to live until that kind of age, your body should still technically age the same. So when you hit 80, you should still look very old. But the thing is, the characters that are over 100 years old don't look like they're 100 years old. They look like they're kind of middle-aged, if anything. Which is then feeding into the same theory of it's all to do with time. And this golden age that the Traveller's brought is actually the Traveller slowing down humanity's time so they live for a longer period. It's just a really weird spinfoil theory that I came up with when I was thinking about all this, because it does bother me that there is quite a few similarities for the Traveller to mix with the Vex. But being completely honest, I actually reckon that the Traveller is its own entity, and we're probably going to learn a lot more about it in the final shape, but that remains to be seen for now. But if you did like the spinfoil hat theory, let me know in the comments below. I'd actually be interested in hearing your theories as well, so let me know. But that's everything for the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one.